A very good morning, class. So, finally, today, class will be winding off with chapter 11 of our secretarial practice, that is financial market. So, up till now, we have finished a lot of topics in this particular chapter. We saw that this particular market enables both investors as well as borrowers to come together and satisfy their basic needs, which they are looking out for, because there are many corporates, individuals, and government which have surplus funds with them, and they are looking out to invest those funds in a place wherein they can get returns and the funds will be utilized in a proper manner. On the other hand, in the market, there are many institutes, government, individuals, body corporates looking out people who will help them to raise their funds in order to carry out their business activities smoothly and to fulfill all the goals and objectives which they had taught while making the institution. So it is a market unlike other types of markets wherein products are bought and sold. So in this particular market, financial instruments like shares, debentures, bonds, derivatives, commercial papers, etc. are traded, issued, and purchased and sold. This particular market fulfills both the types of needs of companies, institutes, banks, governments, etc. That is both short term through money market, and second is the long term, that is the capital market. So this is what was the diagram which we have learned up till now, that the financial market is classified into two different types. One is the long-term market, that is the capital market, and the other is the short-term market, that is the money market. So before we move on, again, a quick revision. The reason behind I'm repeating the slides and I do the revision is that so that there is no need for you all to by heart the concept. In order to understand the concept, if you see it regularly every day, then it becomes feeded in your brain, it gets fixed in your brain, and then you don't forget those topics very easily. So money market is a market wherein the lending and borrowing of funds takes place for a short period of time, varying from 1 day to a year. In this, the financial instruments can be easily converted into cash, which saves both your time and value. This is a market for financial assets, which are close substitutes for money. And we have seen the different types of instruments which are traded in money market, like the commercial papers, treasury bills, etc. On the other hand, capital market is a market wherein the basic instruments deals with debt and equity. Also, it includes private placement of debt and equity and organized markets like the stock exchanges. Today, we'll be focusing on this type of market, which is also called as the secondary market, which comes under industries market of capital market. SEBI defines capital market as a place for long-term debt and equity shares. So yesterday we started with this particular topic, that is types of capital market. And I hope you remember this particular slide, class. So capital market is mainly classified, as we saw in the previous slide as well. It is classified into two types, that is government securities market, which is also called as gilt-edged market, wherein government or semi-government securities like treasury bills, treasury bonds, municipal bonds, etc. are issued and traded. Industrial securities market. In this particular market, both shares, debentures of new and existing companies are traded. And this market is further classified into two parts, that is primary market, which is also called as new issues market, wherein fresh stock of shares, debentures, etc. are traded and issued for the first time to the public. Secondary market, here where already existing shares, bonds, debentures, etc. are issued and traded with the help of stock exchanges. So class, our topic for today, as I've already disclosed you all in the previous slide, is none other than we'll be focusing on the second type, industry securities market ka secondary market. This is the topic for our today's session. So coming towards the introduction part of secondary market. Secondary market is most commonly known as the stock market or the stock exchange. You must have heard the names NSE, BSE, National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange. Also, nowadays, a very recent web series is being introduced related to this particular topic. If you remember, Harshad Mehta scam. So you can watch those web series and see how Harshad Mehta had planned that scam, and not scam actually, he understood the market so well, and how he has done that scam. Everything is being disclosed in that. So you can watch those series as it is related everything to the stock exchange and related to all that stuff is being explained in that particular web series. After IPO, when the shares are listed at the stock exchange, they can be traded in the secondary market. So secondary market, as you saw, the meaning is already the shares and debentures are there. That means no fresh stock is issued. So once the company does the IPO, it discloses, it offers its shares to the public. Then the shares becomes listed on the stock market, and those shares can be traded in the secondary market. So this market basically is for all those securities which are previously listed, which are bought and sold. Here the securities are traded between the investors. So moving forward and continuing with the introduction of secondary market, the main difference now in order for you to understand between primary and secondary market is that before I disclose, can y'all tell me what can be the major difference between the two markets? Absolutely correct. Very good. Very well. Y'all are following the topic, I guess. In primary market, only new securities are issued. Remember, exclusive word बोला था मैंने आपको, example भी दिया था. आप सब antique piece है, exclusive piece हो, limited edition हो, right? So in the same way, only new securities are issued in primary market, whereas in secondary market, there is no fresh issue of securities are done. Only existing securities are traded in the secondary market. So continuing with the topic. So with that, the secondary market gets over. Now there are some extra information given in your textbook, which I'll also cover in this particular session is, apart from primary market, apart from capital or money market, there are other types of financial markets like the commodity market, the derivatives market, and the foreign exchange market. Now, what is the meaning of commodity market? Here, commodities are bought and sold between producers, traders, exporters, and consumers. As far as derivative markets are concerned, many derivatives like future contracts, forward contracts, options, swaps, etc. are traded. Foreign exchange market, as the tells you, foreign exchange means foreign currencies. Like, you know, yen is there, euro is there, dollar. These are all Swiss franc, Singapore dollar, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. These are all foreign currencies which are traded. That is, foreign currencies are bought with domestic currency and foreign currencies are sold for domestic currency. So there is exchange of currency in this particular market. Now class will be going in little detail regarding the derivative market because all these terms are really new for you all. So I'll just give you small introduction regarding actual में ये होता क्या है. What are futures, what are forward, what are swaps, and what are options. So please pay attention class. We'll be covering these 4 topics in little detail so that at least you get a knowledge ये होता क्या है. Baki commodity market means normal commodities are bought and sold. That is understood. Foreign currency is also understood. But exactly what is a derivative market? Let's have a look. So the first kind of derivative instrument which is traded in stock exchanges is called as the future contracts. Now the name itself बोलता है ना फ्यूचर में करने का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है ये. So it is a contract that is agreement for buying or selling an underlying asset at a particular price on a specified date in the future. मतलब today in the present आप लोग वो प्राइस फिक्स कर लेते हो एंड ऑन बेसिस ऑफ दैट यू डिसाइड अ प्राइस एंड यू मेक अ एग्रीमेंट कि 3 महीने बाद, 6 महीने बाद, 1 साल बाद भले रेट गिरे या बढ़े, यू विल बी डिटरमाइंड टू सेल और बाय एट अ फिक्स्ड प्राइस जो आज आपने डील करके रखा है. ओके, बट नॉट टुडे, फॉर फ्यूचर यू डू दैट. नाउ इन ऑर्डर टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड आई हैव put an example, so pay attention here. Suppose you are a farmer and you want to sell wheat at the current rate of 18 rupees. But you know that the wheat prices will be falling in the coming months ahead. So as a farmer, you're planning to sell wheat at 18 rupees के हिसाब से per kg and आपको लग रहा है फ्यूचर में 3 महीने बाद या 6 महीने बाद उसका दाम कम होने वाला है. So in this case, you enter a contract with the grocery store for selling them at a particular amount of wheat, say that is 18 rupees in 3 months. तो आगे चल के 3 महीने बाद you are fixing an agreement कि after 3 months also I will be selling you the wheat at 18 rupees only. Now, if the price of wheat falls to 16 rupees, आप deal 16 में नहीं बेचोगे. You will still be selling it at 18 rupees. So then you are protected because now you are making profits out of it. But if the price of the wheat rises, then you will get the price as mentioned in the contract. तो 16 के बदले अगर 20 हो गया, so you won't be selling it at 20 rupees. 3 महीने बाद you will be selling it at 18 rupees only because वो तय हुआ था. So this is what is called as a futures contract. That is at present you enter into a contract or agreement के इतने टाइम के बाद in the future at this particular price you will be selling or buying the commodity or asset, whatever. ठीक है, so that is futures contract. Continuing forward, sorry for that, this is actually forward contract. Okay, not future. So now I'm explaining your forward contract. Sorry for the mistake over here. So just pay attention. This is forward, not future. Just a second. I'll make the correction over here. Now we are doing forward contract. Okay. So pay attention. What are these forwards exactly? The assets often traded in futures include commodities, stock, and bonds. Grains, precious metals, electricity, oil, beef, orange juice, and natural gas are traditional examples of commodities. I'm sorry, this is futures contract. The first one which we had done was forward contract. So this is futures, correct. The previous one which I told you was forward. So sorry for the mistake over here. Yeah, just one the correction. This is forward contract. Okay. All right. So this was forward. The next one is futures contract. Just now what we are doing. Sorry for the mistake once again. No problem. Little bit technical errors happen here and there. All right. So as I told you, the assets often which are traded in the futures contract include commodities, stocks, and bonds. Grains, precious metals, electricity, oil, orange juice, natural gas. These are traditional examples of commodities. But even foreign currencies, emissions, bandwidth, and certain financial instruments are also part of today's commodities market. So let me explain you with the help of example again over here. A farmer can enter into a futures contract with a wholesaler to sell 50 kgs of potatoes for 20 rupees per kg 3 months from the current date. So as a farmer, you are planning to sell the wholesaler 50 kgs of potato and 1 kg you'll be selling at 20 rupees. This is the deal, the agreement which you are doing at the current date. On the day of maturity, that is after 3 months, if the price of potatoes fall below that level, the farmer successfully hedged his position to minimize the overall risk associated with trading in the future. Hedged means उसने मौके पे चौका मार लिया. That means 20 से अगर 16 rupees per kilo हो गया, तो इसका मतलब farmer को 3 months बाद he is getting 4 rupees per kg के हिसाब से the profit. But however, in case of a price rise in the potato market, a farmer stands to lose out on profits, the same condition which happens in forward ka market. So understood? That is what is futures and forwards market. दोनों में फर्क ये है, forward and future is one of them is customized and one of them is standardized, मतलब fix रहता है. Whereas one is changing, customized. It is made as per one's convenience. Okay, that is the difference between future and forward. Coming to the third one, options. An option is a financial contract which gives an investor the right but not the obligation to either buy or sell an asset at a predetermined price, which is also known as the strike price, by a specified date, which is called as expiration date. So it gives the investor the right but not the obligation. Obligation means responsibility. हक है लेकिन जबरदस्ती नहीं है. He is not responsible for doing that. Now there are two types of options. One is the call option and one is the put option. A buyer of a call option has the right to buy the underlying asset for a certain price. And the buyer of a put option has the right to sell the underlying asset for a certain price. So option is of two type, call and put. अगर आप call option खरीद रहे हो, you can buy that particular asset at a certain price. But if you are buying a put option, then you can sell that particular asset at a certain price. Same example, पीछे वाला I continue, potatoes वाला, wherein the farmer who agrees to sell to the wholesaler 50 kilos of potato for 20 rupees per kg. Now on maturity, agar price गिरता है तो farmer is getting profit. But if the price rises, then the farmer loses out on profit. So now what addition we are doing is here, if the price rises in the future, the farmer can avoid or offset this particular loss through a put option contract, which gives the farmer a right but not an obligation to meet the conditions of a contract. तो farmer के पास right है, if he is putting a put option कि वो 20 के जगह में he can sell at the price of 22 rupees also. ये हक उसका है, ये अधिकार उसका है. Obligation नहीं है, मतलब जो contract बना वही तुझे follow करना है. Why? Because he has also entering into a contract with put option. So he has got a right to sell the underlying asset for a certain price. In case of a fall in the market price level, he or she can execute the options contract to ensure negligible losses. So price rise, on the other hand, allows the farmer to withdraw from the contract and sell the items in the marketplace at the prevailing price. तो अगर 20 rupees से market का current price 22 rupees होता है, and if the farmer has got a put option, तो वो contract से withdraw कर सकता है, because it is not necessary to follow the contract if the buyer is buying a put option. तो आया समझ में? So along with the futures contract, if the farmer is also a buyer of a put option, then there is no obligation, no necessitation, no compulsion to go through the contract in case of price rise. और price गिरा तो कोई बात ही नहीं है ना, 20 से नीचे तो आना ही नहीं है, 20 तो minimum उन्होंने ही बोला था. Price rise के केस में it allows the farmer to withdraw from the contract and sell the items at the prevailing price. Last but not the least of the derivative market is swap. A swap in a single term can be explained as a transaction to exchange one thing for another. मतलब बाटर सिस्टम होता था ना, दूध के बदले आप 10 कपड़े ले लो, या मैं एक भैंस दे रही हूं तो आप मेरे को 3 बकरियां दे दो. बाटर सिस्टम पहले ऐसे ही चलता था, पैसे नहीं होते थे तो. In financial market, the two parties to a swap transaction contract to exchange the cash flow. A swap is a custom-tailored bilateral agreement in which cash flows are determined by applying a pre-arranged formula on a notional principle. So there are many types of swaps like plain vanilla interest rate swaps, not ice cream flavor, currency swaps, commodity swaps, etc. So these are some of the instruments which are traded in derivative markets. So with this class, we are coming towards the end of the chapter of financial market. And before I wind off, there are two important distinguishes which are given in your textbook. So before we wind off, let's have a quick look at the two distinguishes. The first one is primary market and secondary market. Now, in order to remember, as you know, I always give you all smart codes which are easy and simple. So in your textbook, there are 5 points which are given. So accordingly, I've made the smart code. Your smart code is Mr. VIP. The letters which you can see in black represents the head points, where M letter is coming 2 times. So you are having total 5 points in this particular distinguish between ka answer. So let's have a look at it. Meaning, the very first M, the issue of new shares by the company is done in the primary market, and the securities issued earlier are traded in the secondary market. The next M stands for mode of investment. Direct investment is done in the securities. Securities are acquired directly from the company in primary market. Indirect investment, as the securities are acquired from other stakeholders, because these shares are already traded and existing on the stock exchange. So you are not buying it directly, you are buying it indirectly through other people. The next is V. V stands for the fifth point, value of security. The price of the security in the primary market is fixed as it is decided by the company. The price of the security is fluctuating in the secondary market because it depends upon the demand and supply conditions in the market. I is the fourth point of your distinguished intermediary. The underwriters are the intermediaries, and here the security brokers are the intermediaries. Intermediaries means the middlemen. Underwriters, I've already explained you all the meaning, so you can refer to previous chapters. Again, chapter 3, issue of shares, in order to understand what is the meaning of underwriter. Coming to P, parties in action. The parties dealing in the market are company and investors. There are 2 parties directly. In secondary market, you have parties dealing in this market are only investors. So in the stock markets, you don't have any companies who are buying the shares. That means you are having only investors, only people who buy the shares which are traded on the stock exchanges. So quickly, Mr. There are 2 M's, meaning mode of investment, VIP, value of security, intermediaries, and parties in action. So I hope you're clear with the first distinguish. Coming with the second one, the second distinguish between which is given in your textbook is money market and capital market. Again, small distinguish, but with a smart code, as you can see. So the smart code which I have made is mini trip. So M and trip are the letters which you have to remember, wherein I letter is coming twice and R is coming 3 times. So there are total 8 points, but you can study any 6 for your exam. So out of 6, if you remember mini trip also, 5 points aram se easily you can remember. So coming towards the first point, that is mini ka M, meaning. So money market is a market where short-term borrowing takes place, and capital is where long-term borrowings takes place. Coming to T, now T is again single. Time period. In money market, the instruments traded have maturity period of 1 year or less than 1 year. That is 1 day to 1 year. In capital market, the instruments traded have maturity period of more than 1 year. Coming towards the next point, R. Now, R is coming 3 times. So, there are 3 points related to R, 6, 7 and 8. So, risk. In money market, risk factor is less because maturity period is less than 1 year. In capital market, risk is more as compared to money market because they have got long and indefinite maturity periods. Coming to the next R, return on investment, ROI. The return on investment in money market is less as they are highly liquid and safe. You can easily convert them into cash. Return on investment in capital market is comparatively higher as they are more risky. डर के आगे जीत है, तो जितना ज्यादा रिस्क लोगे उतना चांसेस है you can get more return on investment. Role in the economy. The money market increases liquidity of funds in the economy, and capital market helps in mobilization of savings in the economy because your savings are blocked for a longer period of time. तो आपके savings का ज्यादा से ज्यादा use is possible in capital market. So I hope you all are followed with and clear with MTR. Coming to I. Now I is again 2, as you can see, point number 3 and point number 5, instruments. So what are the different instruments of money market? Commercial paper, certificate of deposit, treasury bills, call money market, etc. And what are the instruments of capital market? Remember, Abba, Dabba, Chabba, that is EP. Equity shares, preference shares, DB, debentures, bonds, and GB, GP, government securities, public deposits, etc. Institutions, the participants who are involved in the money market are RBI, that is the central bank, commercial bank, mutual funds, NBFCs, etc. The parties of capital market, the participants include stock exchange hai, commercial bank hai, NBFCs, financial intermediaries, etc. Participants of capital market. Coming towards the last point, that is P, purpose of borrowing. The funds are borrowed in the money market to meet the working capital requirements or for small investments. The long-term funds are required to establish new business, expand or diversify the business, or purchase fixed assets. So that is why capital market में trading किया जाता है. So with this class, we finally come to an end of chapter 11, which was the second last chapter of your secretarial practice syllabus. And I hope this video will prove beneficial for you all to understand the concepts given. So a small request before I wind off, if you like the video, please do subscribe my channel and forward the links to all your other friends as well, who can also take the advantage and benefit of this particular video. Very soon, I'll be starting with the last chapter of the syllabus of this year. So stay tuned, keep watching my channel, and if any doubt, please let me know in the comments section. So thank you so very much, class, for listening to me. I stop here for today.